This competition is really pissing me off, mostly for the fact that once again it appears that the dark chefs are the invincible ones, just to throw despair in all of it all. However, the bookmaster does say in the end that the truth of the competition will be revealed in the real round, meaning that everything we have seen up until now have been to confuse us. Will it become clear what exactly this competition is? Regardless what it is clear that it's been designed for dark chefs to win. Because of a reason. Is it because the head bookmaster believes dark chefs are the only one with true potential? Or is it possible that he wants to find the one light that can destroy the darkest of shadows? The Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, here to bring you Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 289. First of all, Soma gets his money, only $100, because the judge ran out of money. Yes, if that is not insulting enough. Elsewhere, he and Tsukasa sits down as they eat and begins to talk about different things. So the judge actually finally mentions what this year's prize winner is. I don't know what the winning of Blue have been before, but it's clear that anyone who participates in Blue and actually managed to, win or at least gets into the top ranking, they do seem to become extremely famous. And according to this judge, anyone who will become the official chef, the private chef of the bookmaster. And seeing that the bookmaster rarely ever shows itself or themselves, whatever gender that bookmaster is, he only appears in a few meetings with the true people, and every time that is during a meeting, meaning that the bookmaster is forever shrouded in mystery. A chance to become that person's private chef not only means eternal respect, it also means eternal riches, because that means you will get paid an enormous amount of salary, because you are tasked to cook the meal of the gourmet people. In essence, the most power-hungry job for any chef who wants to be rich. And Soma is unimpressed by this, while Tsukasa is actually aiming for it. And in a way, that actually makes perfect sense. Because Tsukasa is a selfish asshole, so becoming the one private chef of the one gourmet place, that just suits him fine. It's arrogant people cooking for arrogant people. Perfect. But Soma is not exactly interested in all of that, and actually here Soma is forever an enigma when it comes to, good personality and bad personality. But here he actually says something I like, and that is, I don't really want to become anyone's private chef. I want to cook for anyone who comes at my diner. So he's basically saying he cooks for everyone. And if he wants the bookmaster to cook, and he wants to cook for the bookmaster, he wants the bookmaster to come to him. Something tells me the bookmaster will. And also we switch to the castle's inner citadel, which is apparently about 2 gates away from where Soma is, where Erina and Asashi is. Asashi is still being very clear on the honeymoon and all that stuff, but Erina calls him off. So eventually she says, I don't even know who you are. So Asashi, what we can presume is, for the first time actually mentions who he is. He was born in a poor neighborhood of America. His mother was a ravishing drunk that also abused her son by pulling his head into a sink of water when he ever did something wrong, and she hardly ever had clothes on anyway. And eventually she died. I don't really know of what, but maybe because, she overdrank. So Asashi was picked up in an orphanage. When he was 7, he met Yoshiro, who traveled around the world, as you know. And apparently one of his friends had a charity work where he would cook for the kids. Asashi had never eaten so much delicious food, so he learned to him and eventually befriended him. And eventually Yoshiro was even taking him around the world. That's exactly, well, not around the world, but around the area, so to speak. That is how Asashi became such a good chef. In a way, Yoshiro adopted him, or technically not. He took, as I said before, he took him on as an apprentice. He taught him a lot of things, and even though he never said it himself, Asashi was happy about knowing Yoshiro. But then, when he turned 15, for the first time ever, we learned something. Soma's mother is an enigma, and perhaps forever will be an enigma. But here, Yoshiro actually says something he has never said before. He cannot come to America anymore because his wife has passed away. And until now, he had left Soma in the care of her son, no, of the mother. So now he has to open. That's exactly the day he opened the diner, so he could still cook for people, but also now raise Soma. And that's why he never really traveled around the world, because he was busy raising Soma. It's not exactly clear to me how older Asashi is to Soma, but I presume about 10 years older or something like that. So, of course, Asashi didn't take that well, so he wanted to become Soma. In a way, I find this very petty, but then again, I do not like Asashi's character anyway. Yes, his past, if that is now his truthful past, which I presume it is tragic. But this also answers why Asashi is modeling a lot of his character on both Yoshiro and Soma. He wants to be Soma. He wants to be the son of the man that showed him kindness, aka Yoshiro. He wants to be Soma Yukihara, which is also another reason why he wants to marry Erina, because he believes truthfully that Erina could one day fall for Soma. He is crazy. But then again, living the way he has, maybe he really is crazy. Finally, we switch to the bookmaster, where Anne reports the one thing I do not like, that half the light chefs have fallen out, but the dark side has not. Not a single dark chef has lost. Why? Why are you making these dark chefs so powerful? If it weren't for the fact that I'm in someone else's house, I would actually scream on top of my lungs in anger right now. So consider this tranquil fury. But the bookmaster calls this the opening act that has now ended, and the true blue begins now as the second gate opens. We are meeting the dark chefs that was in Asashi's companies, including that mysterious old mustache man, the woman that is dressed a lot like Estef from Akame no Gakil, and an old man with a mask. And so we see a brief glimpse of the bookmaster, having some fun, as he now says, next gate will show them what sort of competition this year's blues really is. So yeah, the bookmaster says it himself, this is not a real blue competition. It is something completely else. What that else is, we do not know yet. But it's no coincidence that the dark chefs have passed. There's a reason for that. And it's not only because they may be very good in cooking. No, I think that the show is rigged so the dark chefs can pass, because the bookmaster is looking for something. And also becoming the private chef of the bookmaster. That is the noir's goals, and that makes perfectly sense. The noir are not motivated by gourmet or anything else. They are greedy and selfish people. Not that the light chefs are not either, but what I mean is they are more malevolent in that way. Becoming a private chef of the bookmaster. Now, if that wouldn't give a noir power, I don't know what it would. But for some strange reason, we do not see Megumi or Takumi in this chapter. So, have they passed? I do not know. They better have passed. I refuse to admit that they would have lost on this section. So yeah, that's basically the chapter. We got a glimpse of Asashi's past, and yes, it is tragic, but for some reason I still do not have extreme pity for him. I mean, it's admirable how much he admired Yoshiro, and it's pretty admirable that Yoshiro really became such a charitable chef. Still, I'm a bit wondering, why did Yoshiro even take Asashi as his apprentice in a way? I mean, as Yoshiro is not that evil of a character, but he's an enigma. But then again, so is Asashi, so I guess it makes sense, and so is the bookmaster. Who knows? But he just wants to be Yoshiro and Yukihara Soma. That really does, but it does show that Asashi is not emotionally mature. Having lived the way he has, that actually makes sense. But it still doesn't answer how he could have become such a good chef and even better than Yoshiro, who has traveled all around the world. I still believe Yoshiro threw that match. But I digress. I just want Megami to pass this challenge. Next up, the real competition begins. Why that begins, I don't know, but you can give me your thoughts if you have any.